Hello. Hola. Hola. Nice. What's going on, people? Oh, yeah. Goody, 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 goody. What is that? It's alive. I tell you, it's alive. It's alive. It is alive. All right. Hey, that's right. KT is here. Ah, what's up? How y'all doing? Salute. Salute to you. Salute to you, Chicago. Miss Lopez in the building. K Tizzy. K Teschel. That's right. I'm in a bizzle. Let's get it. That's right. That's right. That's right. We're about to talk about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 points. 7 points. Optimum health, baby. That's right. Hopefully I cover everything, you know what I'm saying? You're Italian. You got some homies in Italy. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Sicily. Yeah, man. There's so many places I need to get to. What up? What up? What's up? Oh yeah, you need that Quantum Mania. You know, I got to give everybody an opportunity to see it. You know what I'm saying? It just dropped. Today is Saturday, so let's see. Maybe Wednesday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere around there. I'll do that Quantum Mania. I'll do that King. Yeah, I'll drop it on y'all for sure. All right, all right. Family D in Chicago. What's up, D from Chicago? Yeah, new Ant-Man movie. That's right. You know, I'm gonna drop that Quantum Mania. If you pay attention to the title, Ant-Man is actually in the title. When you spell Quantum Mania, Ant-Man is in the quantum. It's in there. No consultations right now. From Dominica. Dominica in the building. Island of 1,000 rivers. I don't know how y'all pull that off. Hey, what's up? Mr. G is in the building. What's good, Mr. G? Listen, that 42.7, I'm grateful for it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, man. It's not easy being green, Mr. G. It ain't easy being green. It's all good, though. It's all good. The people that's supposed to be here is here. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts on Ohio? Yeah, I'm going to do a whole video on that. Y'all got to watch the movie White Noise. You want to know about what's going on in Ohio? Go to Netflix and watch a movie called White Noise that came out November 25th on Netflix and debuted in Venice in August of last year. Yeah. Starring Kylo Ren himself, Adam Driver. Yes. Y'all check that out. Go watch the trailer real quick so it can blow your freaking mind. Sending love from Planet Brooklyn. Yeah, it's definitely Planet Brooklyn because New York is tripping right now. You know? Do you know? Do you know? Yeah, White Noise. You know what I'm talking about, Makaru. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was filmed in Ohio for sure. Matter of fact, one of the actors is from East Palestine, so he acted it and then he lived it. Ain't that about a bong bong bong? Peace, peace, Miss Kennedy. Dana from the D. Used to think KT was the Fed. Dang. I used to be the Fed. Boy, that'd be news to my daddy. Oh, they filmed it there too. Okay. Yeah, predictive programming, man. Predictive programming. All right. All right. Well, yeah, it's enough for y'all in here now. All right. So tonight, that's what I'm saying, right? And used to. Hopefully, you don't feel that way no more. I'm just like, I guess everybody gets condemned as being an agent at one point. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Wait a minute. Is that Morpheus? Is that Monk? Is that your code name on IG, Monk? Because you said Morpheus. You know, I know. I mean Neo. Okay, okay. I take it. I take it. Hey, only fed KT does is getting fed up with the BS. I love that. It's the only fed I know is getting fed up. Woo. I like getting fed by the ladies. If you know how to cook, if you know how to throw down, you know what I'm saying? All right. Well, let me get to it. Let me get to it. All right. So, just order some honey. Listen, if y'all ain't got that honey, let me see if I got some honey around here somewhere. Where is the honey? I know I got some around here somewhere. I I know I ain't tripping. I must be tripping. Oh, blah, I got some right in here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this right here. This is the honey. This is the honey right there. This is the wonderful, beautiful honey. Look at that honey. I wish you could smell it. I wish you could smell it through the camera. I wish with smelly vision. You would be getting it right now. If it was. It is so good, this honey. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take some. I've been setting it in the sun for 3 days. Yes, I have. It's so good. Oh my goodness, the activation. You know I got the link in the description if you ain't got that honey yet. And if you ain't got that honey yet, you is tripping. You is tripping. You is tripping. You is tripping. All right. So we are talking tonight about the 7 points. Yes, the 7 points of optimum health. You know, the work that I have to do is not easy work. I could not say that. A lot of people ask me, such as Mr. G, how do you remember all that stuff? And it ain't a matter of remembering. Because it's like you go to school these days and everything is about recollection and retainment. They just want you to remember stuff and kind of regurgitate it back. But I was taught throughout my whole life to comprehend and to get things. So it's like I got all this stuff because I have a certain understanding. And it's not necessarily so, meaning everything that I talk about and that I speak, it could not even be that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of it is based on when I learn something, like I really challenge myself to comprehend the inner workings. Because it's like, if you have a watch and you take the face of the watch off and you see the cogs and the gears and all the parts and everything, you get an understanding of how all those parts work. Then when somebody looks at a whole watch and they be like, yo, break a watch down to me, you could do it because you understand its inner workings. So I just took a lot of time learning, comprehending inner workings. And then once you kind of got like a foundation, you start building walls and, you know what I'm saying, everything, then the house is not that big of a deal because, you got a solid foundation to build from. And you could build a castle, you could build a tower, you could build whatever, but it all comes down to that level ground. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, yeah, man. So what we talking about tonight? We is talking about the 7 points of optimum health because people ask me questions all the time about how to heal and this herb and that herb, and I got this and I got that. But it's like you got to understand basic principles. Basic principles will help you no matter what you're dealing with. All situations of the body are reversible because they're all compensatory mechanisms. See, they're all contingency plans that your body's going through because there's a hiccup going on. It's just the body laboring to get itself back to a smooth state, a flow state again. And the disease and the problem and the issue is just that rocky road leading back to that point. Okay. So the first point that I want to focus on in the 7 points of optimum health would be that of the sun, okay, or light for that matter. And when I say sun and when I say light, that includes sound, okay? Sound is included because sound ain't nothing but light and ether. Sound and light are interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning was the word, and that means that it was said, so sound came first. And God said, let there be light, saying that light and sound, they're like juxtaposed. They're right next to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like driver's seat, passenger seat. But in a driver's school car, you know, they got the two steering wheels in the whip. All right, so sun is most important. You know what I'm saying? Sun, light, phono, sound, light, all of that encompassed in that first point. Okay, that is the first point, and it is very, very important. I tell people this all the time. Okay, if we're talking from the aspect of sound, okay, when you wake up in the morning, when you live in a very healthy environment, the first thing you're gonna pretty much hear are birds chirping, real light winds, rustling of leaves. You know what I'm saying? Almost a chimes coming in the wind out the atmosphere. Like those are the soft sounds, you know, the trickling of creeks or brooks. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a waterfall in the distance. Like when you look at Coming to America, they all came inside the room and they play those, you know, the little tune, and then he would wake up. You know, and even these days when you program your phone for an alarm, you know, it has all different types of tunes that it plays to wake you up. But that that ain't how you want to wake up. You know what I'm saying? That's not how you want to wake up to what? To the light. So sound is extremely important in regards to when you get up in the morning and throughout the course of your day, because noise is just as much of a cancer causer as any other xenobiotic or any other carcinogen. Noise is a carcinogen in itself. All right. Why? Because we're based on tune and we're based on frequency. So if you have a distorted sound and a distorted tone, it can disrupt you. Do you understand? I remember when I watched the movie with with Tom Cruise. What's it called? What's the end of the world movie with Tom Cruise, Steven Spielberg did? What's it called, y'all? The Invasion joint. No, not Day After Tomorrow. The one Steven Spielberg directed. Tom Cruise, he had his fan. War of the Worlds. There we go. Thank you. War of the Worlds. So when I saw War of the Worlds, bro, when them damn things started coming up out the ground and that sound was going off, that boom, that it was so disturbing. Like it felt like doom. Like you can't tell me that they don't understand frequency in Hollywood. That little thing in Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? You don't think they Ludwig Jorgensen, whatever his name is, that got the Oscar for Black Panther. You don't think they understand? You ever studied the pop music, all the, you know, the people that win and everything like that, and Sweden? You know what I'm saying? There's a whole engine of making music that come from over there, you know? So sound plays a huge role, okay? If You listening to one type of music, and then you go and you play some Tupac, you gonna ready to do something. You play some heavy metal, people be ready to do something. You play that Eminem track where he killing his girl and throwing her in the trunk or whatever like that, is gonna do something to you. You know what I'm saying? All of that. So sound plays a huge role, and this is why we lived in such a sonic society at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? And we lived in this type of society. When you go to South Africa, and if you look down from an aerial view, you'll see the remnants of where all of these um, um, building constructions used to be, and then you'll find some remnants of them that still exist, where they made out of this stone called what is it called, like ring stone. But you bang the stones together and they bong. So you have these instruments that are made out of stones and made out of rocks that exist. There's even this one instrument that's made out of glass, and it's like a piano, but you roll, you brush over them with your fingers and they roll, and it could make people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another story. I ain't even about to get into that, the glass joint. I need to bring that up. But yeah, sound wave frequencies. There's frequencies below our audible sound, and there's above, like dog whistles and things like that. So people could be hitting you with sound frequencies. You won't even know it. You'll just be. It will affect your mood. It will affect your emotions. It will affect your behavior. But in South Africa, they had these constructions, these buildings that was made out of this stone that was tuned, and when you hit the rocks together, they actually make sound like bells, but they weren't hollow. They were dense rock. But for some reason, how the rock was made, you know what I'm saying, by the earth, my mama, it just would ring, So I think it was. I don't want to call it ringwoodite, because ringwoodite is the water rock. It got another name. I can't think of the name right now, you know? So, when we get into light, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get into the light part, but I'm talking about the sound part of light right now. So you want to make sure you surround yourself with the natural sounds of nature. You want to surround yourself with classic music. You want to surround yourself with jazz. Okay, because jazz is the sound of the pulsation and timing communication methods of the cells in our body. So nerves firing, cell communication, microtubules lighting up, that's jazz. And if you want the supreme mathematics of jazz, then you would listen to something like Giant Steps, you know what I'm saying, by John Coltrane. You know what I'm saying? You need to listen to Coltrane. That's you know, Love Supreme. Love Supreme will get you. Parts 1 and parts 2. You know what I'm saying? Equinox is a good one too. Equinox is a good one, but that Giant Steps will get you. Now I'm gonna get the Sunrise. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's exactly why I say we love jazz, because that's the sound that organisms use in order to communicate. That's what the plants is communicating with. That's what our bodies are communicating with. You know what I'm saying? Jazz is unbridled. You know what I'm saying? It's wild and it's chaotic, but it's pure order. It's like how you got something that's chaos but order at the same time. And it's really only chaotic because you haven't tapped in to really understand what's going on. But once you do understand what's going on, it'll take you on a journey. Take you on a journey. So you want classical music, you know what I'm saying? You want that jazz music, live instrumentation, nature sounds, natural sounds, these are the things that are going to uplift your body. These are the energies that's going to uplift your being. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, the real king is, I'm a king. We was kings. We was kings. All right, so what about reggae? Well, yeah, reggae is definitely them rhythms. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? That thing will rustle up in you for sure. You know what I mean? Um, but I'm going back to, I didn't even say anything about tribal music. I didn't even say anything about tribal. Where's my? I need to clean my glass real quick. Yeah. I didn't even say anything about tribal. You getting into reggae, you getting more into the tribal sounds. You know what I'm saying? And tribal music is very necessary. That's kind of where a lot of the 808 and kind of the stuff that we into now kind of stems from. It's not as complete. It's kind of a extrapolation and a piece of it. It's like a fraction of it. You know what I'm saying? You take a piece off, you take a slice of a cake. You know what I mean? You put it over here and you form it into a square, something like that. And then you put a little candle in it and you make it look like that's its own cake, but really it came from this whole cake. You know what I mean? But nah, I'm just because I don't list the music don't mean the music ain't sound. I'm not knocking reggae. I'm not gonna knock any of the Caribbean musics, the calypsos, and everything like that. There's a lot of great music that exists. But jazz though, like I'm trying to saxophone, bruh, Thelonious Monk, okay, Duke Ellington, Charlie Parker, Miles Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, them instruments, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's just a whole nother thing. And when you got five cats on instruments that ain't like rehearsed, and one dude starts on the drum and another dude comes in and another dude comes in, and before you know it, there's a whole hurricane going on. Like, that's something else right there. You know what I mean? And like I said, you got to study the mathematics in jazz so you can understand. John Coltrane he went cosmic. You gotta look at John Coltrane's career. Look at the time, like when everything shifted, and see where music went from that. Like, the music industry didn't start manipulating with hip hop and gangster rap. Okay, it did not. Okay, it started way before that with a lot of the music that our parents listened to that we love and we call golden oldies, and that part of that was a switch off. It was a switch off. You know what I mean? Oh, Dizzy Gillespie, yes. Come on, man. Definitely Dizzy. You know, you know what I'm saying? He was putting it in that work. But yeah, I'm not gonna go in just because I did not mention the certain genre of music. This is how it happens. You don't say one thing, everybody like, but what about me? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the body is built on jazz. The body's built on jazz, son. You know what I mean? Like, pick a jazz song and just put it on any video, put it on any nature video you're watching, and just watch how the trees, the water, the birds, everything just moves with the instruments, dog. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Louis Armstrong, of course. Techno, you talking about douche music? I call it douche music. Douche. That's hypnotizing. That's hypnotizing. But I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. Y'all going off. Okay, so sound was the point that I was on right there. So we have to be very cautious with sound. And what is the main sound we hear every day? Each other speaking, our words. Okay, our words. All right. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a ninja in the darkness, in the cut. I'm a ninja viewer. Go on and subscribe and be part of the channel. Let people know that I'm on and I'm popping right now. If you haven't gotten any honey yet, or if you haven't taken advantage of the sale yet, hit the link in the description below. Do yourself a favor. That's right. The whole world is music. It is everything. That is why we exist in something called a universe. All right? Because it's music. Shoot, even the Milky Way look like a vinyl record. You know what I mean? We ain't even gonna get into the science of vinyl records and carbon and crystals and that whole thing, because that's a whole nother, you know. But the sound that we're most used to every day is each other, and it is which is the us speaking to one another, and our tongue being one of the main instruments along with our larynx. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be very cautious in regards to the words we speak, you know, and the words we take in from others, because it affects our waters, and we affect other people's waters, and we affect the electromagnetic field, the CMOS gel that is in between us. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta be very cautious with our sound, you know, our pitch, our tone, right? How we speak to people. You know what I'm saying? A folk, you be talking to one person, they be like, damn, why you had to say it like that? And another person like, what you mean, man? I'm just saying that like you wouldn't talk to your mama like that. You don't talk to your boss like that. You don't talk to your children like that. Why are you talking to me like that? Because you think you could get it, because you don't think I'm going to punch in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be mindful of our tone. We got to be mindful of our sound. You know what I'm saying? There are sound weapons. You know what I'm saying? They had that in one of the Hulk movies where they whipped out the little pulse joint. It was just busting the Hulk. It's trying to bust his eardrums, you know? And that's how you know you got eardrums in your ear, don't you? You know, so sound is a main vein. If you take certain frequencies of sound and you get a membrane and put sand on top of that thing and you tune it to certain frequencies, the sand will start forming into certain mandalas, certain geometrical patterns. You see what I'm saying? It starts popping, you know. So sound has a lot to do, I would think, with Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. He runs fast, but his name is Sonic. But that's not who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm talking about the hedgehog, which is actually something that has to deal with the body, proteins in the body that deal with growth, how you grow your hands when you're an embryo, digits, you know, and pretty much the organization of growth in your body, because you have growth that takes place in your body, but if the growth is not overseen and not organized properly, then you can have cancers, right? You can have tumors and things like that. But there's something called Sonic the Hedgehog that exists inside the body. I'm for real. Y'all can look it up, right? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull something up real quick. Hedgehog protein. I need to put it on the screen. Yeah, man. You wouldn't believe it if I didn't have it right here. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's see. I don't know where it went though. I ain't even plan on doing all this, but I know y'all gonna be like, man, what is this guy talking about? He said Sonic the Hedgehog is inside our body. I done heard it all, KT. Like, I know you be wanting to be right, but you be wanting to be right. Let's see where you at. All right, now where you go? right. When you get punched, the rings pop out. Yeah, when you get punched, you definitely do pop some rings out. Them rings just represent energy. Energy is based on what? Right? Orbitals. Everything spins, everything moves, everything vibrates. So if somebody punch in your face and knock you out, you definitely be losing some rings. All right, so let's do this. All right, y'all see that? Boom. Sonic Hedgehog. Just so y'all know I ain't lying. Just making stuff up as I go along. You know what I'm saying? But so Sonic Hedgehog protein, also known as SH, is encoded by the SHH gene. The protein is named after the character Sonic the Hedgehog, or is the character named after the protein? Because hold on, Hedgehog gene was first identified, right, in what's the name, a fruit fly, and published in 1980. I don't think Sonic the Hedgehog was out in 1980, but you know, I'm not even about to go into that. Let's just talk about what Sonic Hedgehog protein is. The signaling molecule is key in regulating embryonic morphogenesis in all animals. Okay, it controls organogenesis and the organization of the central nervous system, limbs, digits, and many other parts of the body. Sonic the Hedgehog is a morphogen that patterns the developing embryo using a concentration gradient characterized by the French flag model. This model has a non-uniform distribution of SHH molecules, which governs different cell fates according to concentration. Mutations in this gene can cause holoprosencephaly. Okay, anytime you see cephaly in there, it has to deal with the brain, like diencephalon, so cephaly, you know, a failure of splitting in the cerebral hemispheres. Ooh, that's horrible. So you just have like a monosphere. You just have like a spherical brain. Who got that? As demonstrated in an experiment using SHH knockout mice in which the forebrain midline failed to develop and instead only a single fused telencephalic vesicle resulted. Ooh, y'all just be messing with animals. All right, so that's Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, you see, this is where you get things you don't. I bet when you woke up this morning, you did not know before you went to sleep tonight that KT the Arch degree was going to tell you that you got Sonic the Hedgehog catching rings up in your ass. I'm just saying. I hope no kids is watching. I'm just, but nah, for real though. As I said, sound and light. Because what happens when Sonic gets supreme? He turns into what? He turns into supersonic, pure light, gold, and everything like that. So they definitely are connected. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get into the light aspect. So as I get into the light aspect, I tell everybody it's so important that you start your day off with the light of the sun. If the sun hasn't come up yet, you know, you want candles, you want infrared, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to just look at your phone or turn on no LED lights or some tablet or your TV. You don't want that blasting you. You want the light of the sun, because the sun is similar to the way your television works, in that, you know, if you watching shows like Game of Thrones, where every damn episode look like it's in the shade under some bridge during a rainstorm, it's like, does it have to be this Batman about to come out of some right? So this is what happens, right? So you go on your remote, and then you go and you adjust the brightness and the contrast and all of that so you can see better, right? So what you look at on that menu is something called color temperature. So the sun also has color temperature. Its color has a temperature, the same way heat has a temperature. Okay, you wouldn't stick your hand, like you wouldn't wake up in the morning or anytime during the day and stick your hand in a boiling pot of hot ass water. You would not do that. Why? Because the temperature is too high for your hand to take. And based on the nerve endings in your hand, your pain receptors that exist there, you are able to recognize that you about to boil and peel your skin and flesh off by sticking your hand in that hot water. Well, think about that when it comes to color temperature and your eyes. And when color temperature is too high, that's like your eyes being hands that's sticking it into a boiling pot of high temperature water. But the thing is, the nerves of your eyes, because your eyes are your brain. So don't even think about nerves. Think of it as it being your brain. And instead of you feeling the burn and your skin peeling off and everything like that, it's your vision. It's your cognitive function. It's your brain health. It's how you think. It is the way your hormones are released in your body. That's what gets affected by sticking your hand in some boiling ass water or exposing your eyes to high color temperature, right? Now, put it this way. You about to get in the shower. Now, this don't apply to women, okay? Because I don't know where y'all women come from. That's how you know we different species. Because y'all damn women got the ability to damn sit in liquid fucking hot. Yeah, I said it. It slipped out. In liquid magma. I don't know how y'all take y'all booties and just sit in that hot magma. If a man was to follow a woman in a hot tub, he will scald his testicles. Y'all got a whole, and I know what it is. Because, I understand the body. I just be acting like I don't know what it is. Y'all make babies. So y'all got the infrared on lock. Y'all got heat unlike anything else. You know what I'm saying? When y'all on y'all menstruous, y'all blazing. You know that. When y'all ovulating, y'all blazing. You know that. You know what I'm saying? And y'all could sit in a pot of hot boiling soup and just pick up the ladle and just pour it all over yourselves like nothing. You know what I'm saying? But for the rest of us men out here, I think we might be, I don't know, maybe we could take the cold better. I don't know. But y'all, y'all don't like water hot. Y'all like water scalding. Scalding would be the word that y'all women like. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Grandma could fry with her bare hands. She goes right into the cast iron pan and flip the chicken thigh over. Man, what's up, Moon Rocker? Yeah, they keep that shower stupid. I be like, bro, I don't even know how they come back out of there. That's why I'm like, yeah, y'all ain't human. Y'all or men ain't human. One of us is not human here. Y'all just got it like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So color temperature, right? What happens is when you go out in the morning, what you're doing is you're conditioning yourself, okay? Because even though women can just kind of just jump in that acid bath like it's nothing, you know what I'm saying, and no flesh come off, men, we gotta like condition ourselves in that heat. You know what I'm saying? we'll turn that thing on lower, and then we'll turn it up while we're, as we're in there. We gradually will increase. So that's similar to what happens in regards to the color temperature in the day. So we go inside, we go outside, we ground, okay? We ground. And this the grounding is part of the sound and is part of the light, because you're dealing with electrons, and electrons and photons are the same thing. They're the same. It's just that electrons are photons with mass. Oh, wait, what did he say? Did he say that? Oh, we're gonna have to bring that back. Electrons are photons with mass. Wait a minute, KT. What you talk about right there? What's in that water? Come on, man. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Go in that description box. Hit that link. Go get something off the site. You know I got something for you. You know I got sound and light in the form of high energy products. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Electrons and photons are the same thing. Electrons are just photons with mass, baby. Okay? That's all it is, baby. That's why anytime you study biology, photons only interact with electrons. That's the go-to every single time. It is not the protons, it's not a neutron, it ain't anything else. It's photon electron interchange, but it's not an interchange. They're the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's my humble opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's just my humble opinion. What gives it mass is time. What gives it mass is pressure. What gives it mass is life. You see what I'm saying? Because what we're dealing with is the slowing down. We're dealing with the encapsulation. We're dealing with the organization of light into a purpose. You see what I'm saying? And with that is going to end up coming some density. You see, density is going to come into the big picture here. Because listen, we are ridiculous amounts of energy is inside of us right now. We have the ability to explode and blow up. What keeps us from exploding? What keeps us from blowing up? Pressures, gases, you know what I'm saying? Certain minerals, you know what I mean? And when you're dealing with remember, electrons are not on their own. They're in the orbital around the nucleus of a proton. So it's kind of something grounding it. You know what I mean? Where light kind of do its thing. No, protons don't have oxygen in them. Oxygen is an atom. So oxygen has protons. So, but now we getting off subject. I ain't about to go too deep. I'm not going to get too deep into this. We can have a light field conversation another day. All right. So going outside, grounding, right? Getting all of those negative ions, that power, that charge, that energy to come up inside your body instantaneously. Like you just whoop, right? And as that's happening, you are sun gazing, and this is the sunrise. This is not noon. This is not 3 o'clock. You are not trying to burn your eye sockets out. That is equivalent to sticking your hand in a boiling hot water, because in the morning the color temperature is extremely low. And let me, I got something for y'all. Hold on, I got something for you. Let's see. When I want to put this on here. Do I want to put this on here? All right, but where's my that's that one. That's good, but I need, let's see. No. Oh, boy. Let me see. Do you? Yep. Let's do this. Oh. Message. No. There we go. All right. So, when did I start getting into health? When I was in my mother's womb, because when she gave birth to me, guess who was there? Dr. Sabi. So I kind of got slapped in the face with it off the rip. Plus, she was eating mushrooms at the time. So, started talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Started talking to me. This is why my favorite video game has always been and always will be Super Mario Brothers. Because nobody gets it right like Mario. Come on, man. All right. So, so when you get up, now look at this chart right here. It says colors of daylight. And if you notice, it has numbers at the bottom. Is going from a red color all the way to a blue color. All right. The K stands for Kelvin because that's the unit of measurement in regards to color temperature. Okay. So when you first when you go out and the sun is rising, when you see Kepida, because that's what Kepida represents. Kepida represents, the morning sun. It represents birth, a child being born, crowning. Because when in order for a child to be born, they come through, the woman's vagina, and he gets crowned, and the head of the baby is this, right? This is what comes out the mama, right? And this is the Kepira beetle. This is the beetle. This is Kepira. Okay, this is what's yeah. See, that's what I'm. Can I get some likes? Can I get some likes? You know what I'm saying? Are y'all with me right now? I said Kepira is the morning sun, birth, baby, right? It represents birth. And guess what pops out the mama first? The head. And look at that. Look at that. Tell me that ain't Kepira. Tell me that is not the beetle. That's not the dung beetle. And for any of y'all women that gave birth, what's one of the things that happen when y'all born? If you do not get all that food out yourself in time when you giving birth and that baby come out, what you doing on yourself? This is one of the things that is not talked about in birth, but a lot of women boo-boo. They defecate because that baby come out and they push that colon and they can't help it, and that boo-boo come on out. You gotta clean that boo-boo out the way and catch that baby. And what is Kepira? He is a dung beetle. He rolls up the boo-boo. Kepira, bow. Plus, scarab beetles, dung beetles, are one of the only insects that actually get married and have a family. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that dung beetles are husbands and wives? Did y'all know that? They get married and have babies. They represent matrimony. That's another reason why Kemet talked about Kepira so much, because it represented matrimony and the body. But yeah, Kepira right there. Okay? So, the morning sun, you see, not doo-doo baby, chill. The morning sun, okay? Did y'all go to psionicbotanicals.com yet? I don't think y'all ain't hearing me, man. Y'all ain't hearing. Y'all ain't hitting the link in the description. Y'all playing. Y'all ain't hitting no likes. Y'all ain't hitting no likes. All right, so baby Kepera morning sun, boom. Cause Kepera's the morning sun. Guess what the noon sun is? That's Ra. Guess what the setting sun is? That is Atum. Hence autumn. You know what I'm saying? When the sun is going into winter, right? And then what is night? When you sleep, that's a moon. That's the hidden one because you sleep. It's darkness. That's the cycle. And then guess what? Rebirthed again. And that's why it's called Amun Ra. You know, because it's Amun Ra is on that axis. You know what I'm saying? You got Kepera, right? Amun Ra. You got Atum Ra. That's the connection. That's the cycle. Josh McMillan. I got to put this up. Quick side note, y'all. Josh McMillan said, your honey actually got rid of my cataracts. I am fully blind and I appreciate the knowledge. Wow. I guess you were fully blind. I hope you're not blind now. Let's not say that. But no, he said that the honey got rid of his cataracts, bro. You know, if you don't mind, I would suggest you go ahead and send that testimonial to info@soionicbotanicals.com when you get a chance. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, let us know your story. I'm interested to see what happened and what you went through. That's powerful right there. You know, thank you, Josh McMillan, for that. All right, man, we be getting it. All right. So, oh yeah, and then the jars is on sale. The drops is on sale. The site is on sale. It's all on sale. We selling up in here. Okay. You say text green, game over. All right. So Kepera morning sun. This is how you know you're not sticking your hands in boiling hot water, because look at the Kelvin. It's 1800 Kelvin. That's low. It's cooling. Okay. It's going to promote the endothelial cells of your tissues, which contain a complex called ENOS, ENOS, epithelial nitric oxide synthase. This is an enzyme complex that is responsible for nitric oxide production. This causes the dilation of the vessels, okay, so that blood can pool to the surface of the skin. And as this infrared, as you see right there, it says what? Vis plus IR. What does that mean? Visible light spectrum plus infrared. That's why it's reddish on that part of the rectangle as the sun rises. This is what your body's benefiting from. This is warming your car up in the wintertime before you just crank it up and drive off when it's 10 below zero. That car ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. So Josh McMillan says he is fully blind, but it got rid of his cataracts. So that's step one. Let's see where this goes, Mr. McMillan. Let's see where this goes. Because you start seeing again, that's a whole nother level right there. So I'm looking forward to that. Go on and send us your story and information, Mr. McMillan. I need to hear this. All right, so 1800 Kelvin, nice and cooling. What ends up happening at 1800 Kelvin is just put this. The light is going to enter the eye. Okay, I need to blow this up. All right, so in the back of your eye is where the retina is, but behind the eye is where you find all these glands. This is the brain. You see right here, it has a clock there, and it's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the SCN. All right, or scene. Okay, you can't make this up. You got the scene right there. So the suprachiasmatic nucleus is the biological clock. All right. This is what I'm saying. We create time, bro, based on what we see in our interaction with the world. This is why they spend so much time putting pictures in front of you, TV in front of you, movies in front of you. You understand? And you're not watching no movie without audio. Audio is a huge component of a film. A film can be as visually spectacular as it wants to be, but if that sound, if that Dolby ain't cracking, you walking out that theater. The closest thing to your brain, eyes. No, wrong, Lance. Your eyes are your brain. It's not the closest thing to your brain. It actually is your brain, because as you're developing, your brain gets popped out of these two little holes that ends up becoming your skull and becomes your eyes. But your eyes are your brain on the outside. That's right. This brain outside. We outside, y'all. So the light comes in, hits the scene, and the scene is your timing mechanism, your tuning mechanism. It then goes to the paraventricular nucleus. All right. All of this is in the hypothalamus. Okay. Hypothalamus, baby. Hypothalamus in the brain. Okay. In the brain. Hypothalamus. It's in there. It's in there. And I could, this side actually. Okay. Right there. Hypothalamus, pituitary. Okay. Eyes are right out here. Okay. Go shoots right back. Okay. Just got your brain. I know I just got you all. I got you all out today. I'm sorry, man. You just gonna have to work with me, buddy. He's got his whole wig got pushed back over there, man. So Huberman, I don't got nothing against him because he putting the information out there, but you know, he only been out over this past year. I've been talking this since when, y'all? I've been telling people how important this light is since at least 2017. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good 6 years, hard body, been talking about how important this light thing is, getting the morning sun and everything, you know? So yeah, he's, you know what I mean? He's definitely bringing all of the studies, you know, he went to university. I think he taught at university. He got all the credentials. He got all the papers. He got all the evidence. So all he's doing is solidifying all these points, you know what I'm saying, that I've been talking about. And he say morning sun is one of them. I was like, thank you. Finally, somebody understands me. Somebody actually gets me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we got the superior cervical ganglia, and we have the pineal gland, which is producing melatonin. So we have this whole circuit going on, you see? And when you're dealing with the hypothalamus and you're dealing with the pituitary, you're dealing with master glands that produce all the stimulating hormones, the luteinizing hormone, the melanocyte stimulating hormone, you know what I mean? The follicle stimulating hormone. All of these different stimulating hormones are produced in the pineal gland to help stimulate thyroid stimulating hormone in order for all the other glands, because the other glands aren't just producing stuff. They're going to produce things based on the stimulating hormone that the pituitary gland produce. So the pituitary gland has to give them they have to give them word. They gotta instigate that. They gotta make it happen. They gotta send them the call. They gotta pick up the phone and send them the call and be like, they gotta get that call from upstairs. You know, in the football, basketball, they get the skybox, they get the call from upstairs. Yeah, all those glands in your body got to get the call from upstairs. You know what I'm saying? In order for them to be producing this stuff. You know, so this is why the sunlight is so important, because when you get up in the morning and you get that 1800 Kelvin light, you know what I'm saying? It's a little too small. I go up one, right? Ow. Okay. When you get that 1800 Kelvin light, it's stimulating that pathway. It's stimulating that pathway. Okay. I ain't said nothing about no food. I ain't said nothing about no herbs. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Very important. All right. So then as you get later into the morning, you get UVA plus visible plus IR. All right. And in between the visible IR and the UV visible IR, this is when the nitric oxide really gets rolling and everything starts happening. And we get ultraviolet A all throughout the year. It's the ultraviolet B that we need, which comes later in the day, as you see, between the 5500 Kelvin and the 8000 Kelvin. And that's when the vitamin D start getting made. So you ain't going to make vitamin D at the 1800 mark. You ain't going to make the vitamin D at the 4000 mark. You make the vitamin D closer to that 5500, you know what I'm saying, when you got Ra. Okay, so the sun's more intense now. You are not sun gazing anymore. You're not. You are sun gazing in between 1800 Kelvin and that 4000. That's your sun gaze window. And you know, because you know when the sun first comes up, it's cool and it has the pretty little colors and stuff like that. But then when it gets like a little bit past 9, it's strong. You know what I'm saying? Start getting strong. You don't want to be sun gazing at 10. That's too late. That's way too late. And if you lived in the islands, people just getting off work. Because if you work in the Caribbean, yo, them cats they start working like 3. They be up, son. Oh my God. Yeah. A work day in the islands is really like 5 to 2. I know we need 1800K likes on the video. Yeah, this is for who it 1-800K. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. How much sunlight do African Americans? I'm gonna say African Americans. That's not a real term. That's some made up term. That's like natural flavors. African Americans is the natural flavors of race. Let me say that again. African Americans is the natural flavors of nationality. Okay? That's what that is. Ain't no such thing as an African American. But if you're talking about indigenous people, melanated people, you know, original people, you know, I get what you're saying. As much as possible. If you got melanin in your skin, you need to be in that sunlight. You know what I'm saying? You definitely need to kiss that sun for sure. You know, the best times is, you know, about 30 minutes before sunrise, as long as you could be out there, because we supposed to be outside. You know what I mean? We supposed to be outside. That's what we're designed to be, you know, is outdoors as long as possible. But you only sun gaze in that window. Okay. And you don't just stare at the sun for like an hour either. Don't go out there and the minute the sun come up, you start looking at it and you just fixed on it like a creep across the room staring at some girl for like 3 hours. Like, no, don't do that. Like, look at that thing for a few seconds, look away, and look back, and then look away and then look back. Play bashful with the sun. Be bashful. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do because it's some powerful energy. Yes, even in the cold, Miss Lopez, even in the cold, yes, we get activated like the honey. And interestingly enough, the honey's composition is very similar to our composition of our body in optimum health. That's why we resonate so well together. And if you put this honey in the sun, it gets activated. This is activated honey right here. Yeah, man. It's a difference. It's almost like I compared to cotton candy, and I'm not advocating eating cotton candy, but it's the best thing I could think of because when you eat cotton candy, you eat it and it kind of like melts in your mouth, just kind of like vaporizes, and that's kind of what happens when it's activated and you eat it. You taste it, and then it's just like, shoo. It's good stuff. Y'all better get on this. Stop playing. Stop playing with yourself. You're playing yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go out in the sun. I'm already black. It's like leaving your Bentley in the garage, bro. Now you better. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. So Ra, as you see at the top, UVB, UVA, visible, IR. That's ultraviolet B, ultraviolet A, visible spectrum, infrared light. Okay, so all of those are going to be available at that time. You're making vitamin D. You know what I mean? Listen, the sun, when you would see that comedic image of Akhenaten and Nefertiti sitting there with their children, and the Aten disc would have these rays coming down with hands, and they would be ankhs of life. Like, that puts it in a nutshell. It doesn't just light the world so you could see it, but it lights the world so you could see it. Like, we take it for granted so much until your power gets cut off, after 11 o'clock at night, or there's a power outage in your neighborhood and you got to like pull out a flashlight. But what if you don't have the flashlight? You don't have candles, and you have to specifically depend on the rods, not your cones, because there's no color. So it's just rods now, and your pupils have to dilate incredibly. If you got some shrooms, you can eat them. You'll be able to see like the sun's up. But if you don't, then you're depending on them rods, baby. You ain't seeing too much. All right, so as you can see, the Kelvin increases, and then we go to UV8, and we go to visible IR with the 12,000, and you see it's increasing. It's increasing. Now notice how it's going from red to blue. This is why blue is so detrimental at night once the sun sets. Okay, because what you're doing is you're reflecting this. This is what happens when you're watching television or on your tablet or your phone. So an iPad 69. These are older devices. These ain't even the new ones that's stronger with the 5G. So we're talking about 6,900 Kelvin versus the 20. Look at the incandescent bulb, which is usually like a reddish orange color, right? 2,700 Kelvin. Direct sunlight, 5,500 Kelvin. iPad Air, 6,900 Kelvin. iPhone 6, 7,100 Kelvin. The iPhone is higher than the iPad, and probably because the iPad has a greater surface area, probably. But if you understand how your brain and your body is tuned to light, and how important sunlight and a broad spectrum of color is, now you can see how it could be affected. You know, even a cloudy sky, you get 7,500 Kelvin. So people think oh, what about when it's cloudy? What about when it rains? If it wasn't no light, it'd be dark outside. It'd be black outside. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, she got that because I told Badu about that light. Listen, me and Badu, we did some work together. You understand? Thing I love about her is she listen. Woo, she is a woman who listens. You know what I'm saying? And look at her now. She's a whole, listen, she went through a whole transformation. I'm not going to take all the credit for it, but I'm definitely going to take some credit for it. I know I got a lot to do with the resurrection. Oh, man. Yeah, she living her best life these days with her green eyes because she eat all her vegetables. You know? Yes. All right. So, sun is important. I'm talking about the 7 points, and we are an hour in, y'all. And I spent the hour. That means I got to do a 7-hour thing to go through all these points. This is wild. This is wild, man. This is so wild. All right. And light is important because it does what? Okay, it does what? It creates the fourth phase of water, the exclusion zone, which you see right here. What is the exclusion zone? When sun hits water, and whose water? Whose water? We're water. We're water beings. We are sea moss gel. We are the most technologically advanced sea moss gel beings. Okay, and when the sun hits our sea moss gel water, right? We create the exclusion zone, which essentially is a battery. So this gray right here represents a hydrophilic surface. Hydro means water. Philic means love. Hydrophilic surfaces in our body would be capillaries and microtubules and proteins, and things like that in our body. So water is encapsulating all of those hydrophilic surfaces. And when the sun hits our water, when the electromagnetic field hits our water, when the infrared hits our water, and the water is wrapped around hydrophilic surfaces, it separates the charges, and you can see negative, 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 negative all here. You see these lines. These represent layers and layers and layers and layers of negative charge, and pushes all the positive charge out, hence why it's called exclusion zone, and you create the water battery. The water battery. Let me get some likes. Right now, K to the Arch Degree. So Ionic Botanicals has a sale going on. There's a sale on the whole site. There's probably 1 or 2 items that are not on sale. Shoot, even the Herbal University is on sale right now for our next enrollment. Even the CL5 package is on sale right now. The jar is on sale right now. The droppers is on sale right now. The blue blocker is on sale right now. C3 Phyto Sultriol, my vegan D3 tablets is on sale right now. Yes, we is bussing, bro. We got it going on. We got it going on. So let me get them likes. All right. So I think y'all got it about the light. I could keep going. I can do 7 videos off each one of these things. Okay. All right. So now I want to get into the next aspect of the 7 points. Okay. The first one was sun, right? And we talked about sound, light, and with light, I'm not excluding the moon, the stars. That matters too. All of that is light. Okay. Bioluminescence, chemiluminescence, all that light. Okay. So as we get into number 2, which is another aspect of the light, because we wouldn't have it without the sunlight. It's the sunlight interacting with the elements and the gases and stuff. And what we breathe, the prana we breathe is a byproduct of the sun too. So it is light that we're breathing in. So it's really an extension. But second point would be breath. You know what I mean? Breath. Because like when they say breathe first, but it's like, nah, the sun's first, ain't it? Yeah. There's sunlight. There's a mama. There's a daddy got with the mama. They got the groove on. You know what I'm saying? They met under the sun. You know, read all they made the babies. When the baby come to take that first breath, like the sun is here, the light is here. You know what I'm saying? And it's darkness where the child is at, but it's light when they take their first breath. You see what I'm saying? Because they're in the darkness of the waters, hovering over the face of the waters and all of that with its genesis going on. Yeah, the Ohio chemicals is not good right now. Folks are throwing stuff in the ponds and little streams, and you're seeing that kind of iridescent rainbow color you usually see when you see slicks in a parking lot and you know somebody spilled some oil or something. So yeah, the waterways is trash right now over there, and all of that Ohio's into the Mississippi spills into a lot of other things. You know, I can't tell any of Badu's secrets. Do you understand? I can't give away any of the Badu. Okay, so I don't. That's what I do. I don't give away any of her secrets. All right. Is that all right with you? All right. So the breath is extremely important because you can go years without eating, you can go weeks without drinking, but you can go but seconds without air. Okay. When you look at the energy system in our body to liberate from our foods, it is called the what system? The cellular respiratory system. Okay. A citric acid cycle, Krebs cycle, tricarboxylic cycle, but it is the respiratory cycle, cellular respiratory cycle. So they could have called it anything else, but why would they use it? Why would they call it cellular respiration? You know, respiration is breathing. Okay, so we got our life from our breath because our life is based on gases and pressure. You see, inhaling and exhaling. And you notice based on the mood that you're in, how your breath changes. You know, when you're relaxed and you're calm, you breathe deep and slow. When you're anxious and in fear, you breathe fast and shallow. And if you change from fast and shallow to deep and slow, you'll also change your temperament and your energy and your output and your behavior. You know, how quick do you have brain damage when the brain doesn't get oxygen? How much oxygen does the body have? I speak on this often. You know, when you have 350 million hemoglobins inside of 30 trillion red blood cells going through 60,000 miles of blood vessels, and each one of those hemoglobin have 4 hemes, and each one of those hemes can hold a molecular oxygen, which represents 2 atoms of oxygen, and 4 hemes, that's 8, and 8 times 350 million would be just what? 1 red blood cell, and you have 30 trillion of those. So then you multiply that number by 30 trillion, and that's how much oxygen you have flowing through the bloodstream, not including the oxygen that is actually attached to the bones and the tissues and the rest of your body, or the oxygen that actually represents the oxygen in the H2O that you're about 90% of. It's a lot of oxygen. That's a whole lot of oxygen right there. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of fire, a whole lot of power. You know what I'm saying? So breath is extremely important. And breath is not just oxygen, it's nitrogen too. It's also other elements in the air. There are particulates in the air, sulfurs in the air, minerals are in the air. This is how breatharians are able to survive, you know? So when you're in a very healthy environment, a very nutrient dense environment where you're getting the sun and you're getting the moisture and all the elementals are in the air, you can breathe it in. And then our body has the ultimate, because I talk about it, but I hardly ever show y'all the book. I have the PDF. I don't have the physical book. And I'm going to pull the title. Louis Kevron is the author. I bring this book up often, but I'm going to put it on here real quick so y'all can see this. All right. So this is a book called Biological Transmutation, which a lot of people may not be aware of. Very powerful book written by C. Lewis. I always said Kevron, but it's Curvron, and it was translated by George Osawa. And what Louis Curvron talks about in this book is that we have the ability of cold fusion. Okay. Now, cold fusion is something that's been trying to get perfected by scientists forever. You know, we know about nuclear fusion, but it requires, there's a lot of heat as a byproduct, hence why the uranium rods have to exist inside, you know, a bath of water to keep them cool, because when they get too hot, then what you have nuclear meltdown, right? And then you have a situation. So that's why they've always looked for cold fusion, so that type of thing don't happen. But cold fusion, hey, you look no further than right in front of you, baby. You know what I'm saying? The answer's right under your nose. You flew all the way around the world just to see us in your backyard, baby. You know what I'm saying? So our body performs cold fusion. We're able to transmute the elements. So let me zoom in. See, can y'all see that? Good. All right. Let's move. I'm trying to move the. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. Over the past 2 centuries, a large number of experiments with animals, seeds, and bacteria have demonstrated the biology. If y'all ain't went in the description yet and clicked on that link and went to that site, if y'all ain't hit a like yet, I don't know what to do with you. I'm going to drink some water. Hey, man, somebody said Hilton Hotima. Yeah, Hilton Hotima is a beast. You talking about this Hilton Hotima? Talking about like Great Law Hilton Hotima? that's I keep him close by for sure. Over the past 2 centuries, a large number of experiments with animals, seeds, and bacteria have demonstrated biology is not only a chemical process, but also a nuclear one. It has been demonstrated that some minerals transmute into other minerals with the development of low energy nuclear reactions, which is called cold fusion. This topic is back in the scientific agenda. Very few scientists work in this field, but its importance is such that its further development is crucial. And I'm going to go to, let me see. All right. So in 1799, the French chemist Louis Vauquelin, probably Vauquelin, because he's French. You know, they pronounce it like nice and soft and fluffy and airy. became intrigued by the quantity of lime which hens excrete every day. He isolated a hen, fed it a pound of oats, and analyzed the eggs and feces for lime, CaO. Okay. He found that 5 times more calcium was excreted than was consumed. He observed not only an increase in calcium, but also a subsequent decrease in silicon. He is certainly the first scientist to have demonstrated the biological transmutation of silicon into calcium. Okay. Vauquelin concluded that a loss of only 1.274 grams of silica cannot account for an increase of 14.118 grams of limestone. He reported that lime had been formed but could not figure out how it happened. Furthermore, he encouraged other scientists to replicate his experiment. In 1876, this is like 100 years later, von Herzeli, a German pharmacist, published the first of a series of books in which he showed that plants continuously create material elements. From 1875 to 1883 in Berlin, he conducted 500 analyses with different types of seeds: clover, crimson, vetch, rapeseed. Rapeseed is canola, y'all, canola oil. That's the main oil that's tearing us up. That's an omega-6, is called rapeseed. Barley, look at me. Barley, watercress, bean, white beans, kidney beans, turnip, rye, peas, lupine, colt's foot, and angelica. A typical experiment was a determination of the variation of calcium, potassium, and phosphorus in Vicia sativa during germination with or without the addition of mineral salts in distilled water. He even showed that the addition of various calcium salts to the medium increased the formation of potassium. The addition of potassium, what is that, like potassium carbonate? Yeah, I would think that's potassium carbonate. The addition of K2CO3 increased the formation of calcium. Von Herzeli concluded that plants are capable of affecting the transmutation of elements. His publications outraged so much the scientific community of the time that they were removed from libraries. His writings were lost for more than 50 years until about 1930, when a collection was found by accident in Berlin by Rudolf Hoschka, who subsequently republished von Herzeli's book. So you see how they just be tossing it, bro, because they mad it don't fit into their agenda. It's terrible. Let's see. That's on that I'm looking for. Hold on, y'all. Y'all could definitely look this up. Trying to find something else to read to y'all. I didn't even know I was going to be talking about this, but this is kind of where it went. But yeah, we end up creating situations inside the body where we shrink this back down, where we where we're able to create we're able to create new elements from the pre-existing elements we have. You know what I mean? We're able to perform biological transmutation. So we can inhale certain elements, and based on nuclear cold fusion in our body, convert those elements to the elements we need, or break those elements down into elements we need. So we could build them up and we can build them down, because you'll notice a lot of lead and certain metals in the soils and areas because of the breakdown of higher elements. You know what I'm saying? The decomposition of elements breaking down into other elements. So we can do that in our body and we can build it up as well. So anytime we have mineral deficiencies, if we get in a proper environment, we don't necessarily have to consume those minerals. We can make those minerals from what we already have, because there's really only one element, and that's hydrogen. That's the only one. Every other element ain't nothing but higher accretions of hydrogen. Atom, okay? The atom. You know what I'm saying? Atom hydrogen, okay, is able to become any other element and could be built up from hydrogen to helium, up to carbon, to oxygen, up to magnesium, to iron, all the way up to gold. You know, this is what we have the ability to do. So breathing is very, very important. Okay. And this is why people with color, we got noses, son. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got them noses. Big lips, big mouth. We are able to inhale and exhale. We are able to control the pressures, the millimeters mercury in our body that governs the flow of things. You see what I'm saying? So we need to stay saturated with the proper air and breath. You know, we have to remember to breathe. You ever notice people be like, "Oh man, that took my breath away"? You ever notice when you're in a bad situation, you hold your breath, you realize you ain't even breathing? Somebody gotta remind you, breathe. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's amazing. You know, so yeah, breath is number two. Breath is number two, and we, you know, through that we end up touching on Lewis Curveron and biological transmutation. You get this on Amazon right now, bro. Like, it's not a hard book to get. And on a planet that is covered in trees, you know, our respiratory system is nothing but the upside down of that tree. So the same way that you see a trunk bifurcating into branches, which terminates into leaves and fruit, is the same way our trachea bifurcates into bronchial tubes, into bronchioles, into alveoli. You know, and what does the tree do? The tree, you know, takes in light, you know what I'm saying, and inhales carbon dioxide and exhales oxygen, and we reciprocate that. We do the opposite. We flip it on them, you know. Yes, hydrogen is the first. Hydrogen is the first. All right, so what's number 3 on our list today? So we did sun, we did breath. Okay, so the next thing is gonna be movement. You know what I'm saying? Movement is very, very important. I have my little trains. Nah, ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. I need something better. Yeah, this is what I need. This is what I need. Um, me put this up here. I don't got to go too deep into it, but movement is very important. So when we that's one. Maybe I'll do two, just cause. That's nice. Okay. All right, I'll do that one. Okay, my bad, y'all. Thank you for the patience. But I know y'all want to see what I'm talking about. All right. All right. So be fascinated by your fascia. You know, the whole universe is based on the donut, which is the torus and the hyperboloid, the conjugated geometries that represent centripetal and centrifugal force, which gives rise to the reality that we live in. This hyperboloid and toroidal relationship is a relationship of the dielectric to the magnetic, which are nothing but disturbances in the ether, which give rise to the field that we exist in. Another way of looking at the toroidal geometry and the hyperboloid hourglass figure, the centripetal versus centrifugal, would be compression and expansion. And you get that through the fascia. You know what I'm saying? And right here, what we have is a interpretation of how our body works. The bones don't connect to anything. They're kind of floating. And they're floating based on the fascia, okay, which are a kind of fiber optical glue-like fiber that was there from the inception of the zygote in our creation, which yields the intelligent design of our body and organs that exist in us today. If you notice, water takes on the shape of its container. Hence, the fascia create the geometry of the container for our intelligent water to form into, so that we have the dynamic divine geometry that results in the organs and the body that we have and function with. Okay. So if you notice, this is compression. Okay. Compression, right? Flex, right? Expansion, right? Compression, expansion, expression, compression, expansion, compression, expansion. That's walking. That's picking up something. That's just work. Everything we do. So movement is important because movement cranks that soldier boy. You know, our lymph fluid, our veins, they don't have a means of flow. They get pumped. They get pumped by movement. Yoga is about pumping. Pilates is about pumping. Dance is about pumping. Pumping is about pumping. Huh? Yeah. You know how healthy sex is when you and your partner are getting it on. Do you know how healthy that thing is? All that sweat, all that movement, a lot of fluids is moving at that time. That fascia is charged, and fascia is not just rubber bands and stuff. It has a charge. It's electrical. It's signaling. It's actually the nervous system's nervous system. I'm going to say that again. Your fascia is your nervous system's nervous system. Okay, so this is some of the geometry of how the fascia exists throughout your body. This ain't all it is. This is just an isolated example. This is called the spiral line. Okay, anterior and posterior view of the spiral line of your fascia. Okay, movement is very important because we're kinetic beings. We are designed to move. If you look at, like, for all the men out there, let me tell you something. What is more greater of an inspiration than seeing the movement of a beautiful woman walk by? We could be building on biological transmutation by C. Lewis Curveron, going all the way in about cold fusion, and let a bad one walk on by. And I'm not objectifying. I am identifying the fact that we are designed to move. And she is a perfect example of that. She dun 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 walk on by. You foolish guy. Oh yeah, fascia definitely holds trauma in the body. And my man Bjorn, who is a Abelardo, Mr. G going off. Amen to that. So my man Bjorn on Instagram, he goes by Bjorn to Flex, BJORN, Bjorn, the number 2 and Flex. He is a world-renowned master fascia specialist. And I've seen him do work on people, and especially women, and they wake up crying. They be wanting to marry him. Because think about it, you know how many women you talk to and they talk about they go through trauma and, you know, they dealing with their trauma. Imagine they meet a man that could rub their fascia the right way and pop that thing out, and that trauma ain't there no more. They gonna be in love and all shook up. You know what I'm saying? So the movement is very, very important. And when we don't move, we cement ourselves. This is why children are so flexible and so nimble and limber. Is that the word? And we are so disjointed. We are so stiff. You know, you try and get somebody to touch their toes, they like, they pulling something. Kids ain't pulling nothing. You ain't never heard no kid talk about some Charlie horse, you know what I mean, and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think he's going to start giving classes, but I know right now he's just so booked doing the work, you know. Yeah, and I think he might be in Georgia now, if I ain't mistaken. But this represents your bones. These sticks represent your bones, and the fascia represents the rubber band, and it allows you to be able to fold your bones in like they do. And I know y'all done seen contortionists before. You know, them women that could like lay down on their belly and they put their legs over and they be on both sides of their head like earphones, and they could just like walk around like looking like a bug. Like, that's because of the fascia. And when you release these traumas, when you're hydrated, when that fascia is charged and strong, you know, and motile, you know what I mean, then, you know, you can do spectacular things. And you see it in sports. All that stuff that these guys do, that's because of their fascia. Their fascia promotes all of their movement, all of the movement. And just to show you, you know what I'm saying, this is an example right here, you know. So you got superfascial backline, right? Going from the top of the head, okay? And you know that because if you stand up and you put your head down, you'll feel something tugging, you know what I mean, at the back of your head. You'll notice you have a limitation of movement in certain areas because of that rubber band, that tension, you know, that tension, that torsion, actually, torsion, which is how light works. You know, it ain't really about the distance light travels as it's about the torsion wave that is created between 2 points. You know, light is everywhere. Yeah, program your fascia for sure. Super fascial front line. Okay, so you see it there. You know, you'll see that when you're doing squats. You know what I mean? Certain dance movements, you'll feel that tug. You know, you got the lateral line. Okay, you got the spiral, right, which looks like an X-Men costume, son. He looking like Cyclops right there. You know, you got the the arm line, and then you got the deep front line. Okay, and these are not all of them; these are just some of them. You know, we're not. What he said, lie am. Oh, not that. Number two, I am your fascia. Austin Powers. Now that's my dude. I love gold. It's funny, you know, Dr. Evil from Austin Powers ain't too far from Bane from Batman. It doesn't matter who we are. They ain't that far apart. I need to see a conversation between Dr. Evil and Bane from Dark Knight Rises. Is it? Is it Dark Knight Rises? All right, so movement is so necessary. Okay, this is the reason why a lot of us are not healthy, is because we are not moving. We're sitting down too much, laying down too much, being too complacent. Once we were built to run through the meadow, run through the forest, run through, you know, just run through the lands, you know, bend down, squat, jump up, you know what I mean, Indian position, lay down, sit up, like that's our body is designed to move. We don't have we don't have all of this just for cosmetic and aesthetic reasons. You know what I'm saying? We have this body because it's built to do things. It's built for work. And we need to do that work, whether, you know, it's dance or it's sports, you know what I'm saying? You know, or it's just gardening, farming, something that has you moving the body, you know, but you need to be moving the body. Very important. Very important. Gold member was your favorite, really? Blunt and the Blitz. That was your favorite one? Yeah, the first one got me. But she's a man. Honestly. Punched his mom's dead in the face, dog. Trying to rip the. It's a mask. That's my mother. Man, that movie was hilarious, yo. $1 million, and they just bust out laughing like, dog. Like, we make $1 million an hour. Like, that ain't enough. Cigar and a waffle. Oh man. All right. So sun was 1, breath was 2, movement was 3. All right, so now here comes the big one y'all been waiting for. Number 4, nutrition. Nutrition. Okay, so this is usually what takes the main stage when it comes to health. And this is where the herbs come in, the food come in, the diets come in. So, you know, I get a lot of blowback because I'm like, yo, we're on the planet with 8 billion people. Can I honestly say that all 8 billion are supposed to be vegan? I don't know. I can't say that. I have not lived with all of the tribes and all of the cultures and all of the people and all of the races and know all of the phenotypes and all the genetics and all of the genes and all of the blood types. You know what I'm saying? I don't know enough to say that everybody's supposed to be eating the exact same way. And the reason why I say that too is because the microbiome is one of the greatest reflections of us as a population on the planet, in that it exists inside our gut and it gives us great health, but its health is based on diversity. Our earth is based on diversity. It ain't just one group of people here, it's all types of group of people. And though we might find it difficult to find common ground, we all got water inside of us. We all got belly buttons. Like, we do have some things in common. We want to take care of our family. We want a house, to live in, and be able to create and provide and things of that nature. So there are people that eat meat that live. A lot of centenarians, they're not all vegans and vegetarians. They live past 100-something years old, very, very healthy lives, and they eat stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people that do eat nothing but plants or nothing but fruits, and some eat cooked vegetables and fruits. And then others is like, no, don't cook them. You know what I'm saying? And you need to just eat them raw. And you got those, you know what I mean? You got the pescatarians who are like, yeah, I'll do that, but then I'm going to throw some fish into the mix, and then you got people that's nothing but seafood. And then I think about the fact that when you go to any of these societies, these tribes, and we always talk about antiquity when it benefits us, but when it contradicts or conflicts with some of our doctrine, we leave it out. But when you go back to antiquity and you see how we were all along the coast and all along the waters and everything like that, every society, we see nothing but seashells and remnants of people eating food out of the ocean, like throughout time. It's just there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there was a post that was out, and this indigenous, I don't know what nationality, what tribe he was, but he said veganism was actually created by the colonialists, because in a real indigenous, like aboriginal, rocking with the earth, connected to earth society, they utilize all aspects of the earth in the tribe, in their community. They connect with all aspects of the earth. They said they came in there and they brought, their seeds and their vegetables and everything like that, and was just trying to like monetize and create certain things specifically. You know what I'm saying? So it was just an interesting point of view, you know what I mean, that he was expressing with that. But yeah, fruitarianism is, being a frugivore, but how are you going to be a frugivore if your people live in the desert? How do you be a frugivore? You just going to eat prickly pears all day? If they grow, if the nopal grows there, like, what are you going to eat? If you're an Inuit, how are you going to be a frugivore if you're an Inuit, if you're Eskimo? How? You know what I'm saying? Frugivores in that diet only work for the tropical regions, because even when you come up into the temperate zones, you can only be a frugivore when the sun hours are the longest, which are going to be late spring and throughout the course of the summer. And you're going to have to like really harvest a lot, and you're going to have to get your what's the name, Joe, your mason jars, you know what I'm saying, and store your foods and everything like that in order to do it. But when you look at indigenous societies, they was eating all types of stuff in their habitat. That's what they was doing, So it's like, it's not no one diet. It can't be, because all types of people are living their lives right now, and people eat all types of different ways. And we have to be able to respect each person's diet and what they want to eat. Now, when you're talking about flaming hot Cheetos and Impossible Burgers and all the stuff that's defecated out of the anal end of some machine, no matter where you go, that's trash. All that deuterated, deuterium drenched bull crap, I don't care who you are, it's straight trash. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about the food web, and you're talking about things that are living on the land and eating from the land and going through that cycle, and you're having a relationship with the land and the spirits and the elements and things of that age, that's just a different situation, So that's how I feel about it. Personally, I promote people deal with plant life, especially here in the States, because we just overdo it with all the flesh and all the processed foods and things like that. And then we live in a time where fruits and vegetables are available, from all parts of the world coming in. But with all of these factories and warehouses getting burnt up and ships sitting off the coast of this place and that place, like, how you gonna get your mangoes? How you gonna get this? How you gonna get that? You're gonna have a garden, but you're not about to grow no avocados in Virginia. Not unless you build a greenhouse, you know what I mean? And you can have that 75, 80 degree weather in there and that humidity built in, and yeah, you can start growing all that stuff. But yeah, people are gonna have to really be vigilant and focused and put their best foot forward if they want to, because if not, you're gonna be hunting squirrels. you're gonna be burying acorns. You know what I'm saying? Like squirrels do, man. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So stock up on that sea moss, because them sea vegetables, when they dry, they last a lifetime. And then honey, yeah, baby, this lasts forever, for thousands of years. Let me re-up. Yeah, chemicals do contaminate the soil and the water. Oh, that's heaven. Woo. Yeah, y'all want some of that honey? Hit the link in the description. Let me get some likes, some love and likes. All right. So, nutrition. So when you're dealing with nutrition, you got to get certain things in. When you eat the fruits and the vegetables, the beautiful thing about that is they're at the bottom of the food web. They're the foundation. So when people are eating meat and deciding to eat all these other things, they're eating animals that have eaten all of these plant foods, because people rarely eat carnivores. Most of the meats that everybody eat are herbivores. Cows are herbivores. Pigs eat everything. Fish do eat other fish, but when you're talking like lamb, cow, chicken, they eat worms, but for the most part, they eat grains and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are the deer, when people doing venison, these are all herbivores. So what are they eating? They're eating these plants and they're eating these fruits. And these fruits and these plants contain secondary plant metabolites such as flavonoids, and a lot of these flavonoids are very, very important for our body, because as I spoke in the last lecture I did on the honey, I got into phenols and talking about how phenols represent light. Phen represents light. So when you say phenol or phenolic compound, you're saying light compound, or compound that's full of light. All right. So some of the phenols that you end up getting from all of these plants, you know what I mean? They're going to provide so much power and help you deal with a lot of issues that could be going on in the body. You got coumarins, you got lignans, you got flavonoids and anthocyanins. Anthocyanins are what give berries their color, what give flowers their color. When you see blues and purples and fuchsias and stuff like that, those are anthocyanins. One herb that has the highest amount of anthocyanins in it is mucilage. That's on the site as well. Very, very powerful herb, and it's actually used to dye a lot of fabrics in Mexico. So yeah, you got flavonoids and anthocyanins. A good example of a powerful phenol that falls in the stilbenoid category would be resveratrol, which you get out of grapes. You got catechins and tannins, quinones, and quinones, they usually result in melanin production. Quinones and naphthoquinones, polyacetylines. Yeah, these are all secondary plant metabolites that you end up finding inside of all these plants. Coumarins and furanocoumarins. Coumarins is where coumadin was created. These are blood thinners. You know, you're gonna find phenylpropanoids, you know, phenol, catechol, gallic acid, you know, salicin, salicylic acid, safrole, eugenol, myristicin, quinic acid, chlorogenic acid, succoric acid. Yeah, these are all phenolics that you'll find inside of plants, you know, and they are very, very beneficial, and they help to regulate a lot of pathways, metabolic pathways inside, you know. No, mucilage and man better man is not the same. Man better man is a very powerful herb out of the Caribbean that specifically has dopamine in there and forms of testosterone stimulating compounds. So it's called man better man because that's what it does. You'll be able to identify it because it has a long tendril, and the tendril has like spikes on it, so it could like get caught on you, but it looks like kind of like a whiplash, and its leaves are very similar to amaranth spinach, you know, but the root has ecdystyrone in the root, and ecdystyrone are elements that when plants eat them, usually it's when plants eat them. Sometime I just move too fast. When insects eat them, and it's usually insects that go through a metamorphosis process, like grubs that turn into beetles and things like that. Ecdystyrone is a molecule that's a plant steroid that actually assists in the metamorphosis, all right, of insects going from one state into another, like caterpillars turning into butterflies and grubs turning into beetles and things like that nature, larvae turning into beetles. This is what the ecdystyrone do. So the man better man helps you with your transformations in your body as well. But it's a very, very powerful plant in the Caribbean. But no, mucilage is different. Mucilage is justicia. Justicia is its name. Justicia is Mexican honeysuckle, greenish leaf, or all leaves is green, but they're like a kind of a waxy, bright greenish kind of ovate leaf with a point like a spear tip to it, and then it has these bright orange honeysuckle-like flowers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, so nutrition, the plants, the berries. You know, you want to get berries in. You want to get your fats in through your avocado and your coconut. You want to get your electrolytes in through your coconut water. You want to get your fruit juices in. You want to get. There used to be a Norwalk juicer, but I think they went out of business because Pure Juicer bought them out or something like that. But you want to get those juices that grind and press rather than them having the centrifugal force, because the plants have structured water. I say a good example of recognizing this is taking a fruit. You see it has form. You see it has structure. You put it in the freezer. You freeze. You pull it out. It's mush. That's how you know the water was structured and now it's not structured. So when you get the proper juice, you'll notice that, you know, when you have one type of juice, it'll be very liquid. But when you get a juicer that cold presses it, the juice has more of a milk-like viscosity. And that shows you that it's preserving more of the structural component of the fruit. And the quicker you drink it towards juicing it, the better. You know, so you juicing melons, you juicing berries, and you juicing all these tropical fruits. That's one of the best things you can get inside of your system, because the pulp and the fruits and the juices are synonymous with how our cells are with our body. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you Mega Man and you extrapolating the power from another person, and now you got that new blast on your gun, you know? Oh yeah, Trader Joe's got like the best juice, hands down, for sure. I love their juices. Yes. But you know, invest in the juice and do your own. It's so necessary. What else am I talking about? Omega-3s, you know what I mean? You get that from perilla oil. I got that on the site. You get that from phytoplankton. I got that on the site. Link is in the description. You also get that from sea vegetables. A lot of the sea vegetables got them in there. The purple laver, the dulse, the chondrus crispus, a lot of the sea mosses, the colorful, potent sea mosses, they're going to have that in there. Green leafy vegetables, you're definitely going to need that in your life. Peppers, we need pepper. Capsaicin plays a huge role in our metabolism. We need that. You know what I mean? The spice game, the seasonings, quinoa, fonio, squashes, and then we got all these superfoods, so nutrition is necessary, you know what I mean, but not as necessary as breath and sunlight, because there wouldn't even be none of these foods if there was no sun. So those are some of the things. Those are some herbs, you know what I mean, and foods and plants that are definitely benefit. I'm a bean person. I know Sabi only had chickpeas. I think chickpeas might have been the only bean on there, but I like beans. I eat black beans. I eat kidney beans. I eat pinto beans. I stay away from lima beans because lima beans be having me. Yeah, it don't work out well for me. They're good, but I got to stay away from the limas. But that's why you use epazote. You know what I mean? Epazote, which is actually a herb that helps with worms, getting worms out, is a great dewormer. It's a great parasite cleanse, but it also helps with liberating the phytates in the beans as well, because the reason why you get gaseous eating beans is because of the phytates in there. And when you utilize epazote, they're able to create a circumstance where the phytates don't harm you no more and result in being so gaseous. And in Indian food, that same process happens with the asafoetida, which is a resin. You know what I'm saying? Epazote has a resin too, because it has a kind of a petroleum oil kind of scent to it, similar to gobernadora or chaparral. You know what I mean? Larea tridenta. So yeah, those right there. So y'all got me flexing. I ain't even trying to flex like this. You know what I mean? I ain't even trying to flex like this, but y'all got me out here flexing. Yeah, lentil. I forgot lentils, split peas, black eyed peas. You know what I'm saying? Like I like beans. I'm a bean person. I'm a bean head. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time. I'm like, listen, I'm from the islands, and islands called the Caribbean. Okay, I was born in the Caribbean, so I'm supposed to be eating some beans. Yeah. Epazote. You get them at the Mexican marts. You can buy it online. It's very powerful. If your child is grinding their teeth, if you got a kid, they grind their teeth a lot, that means they got parasites in them. That is a byproduct of parasite. Too much parasites in them, byproduct of too many heavy metals in them. Maybe you gave them Enfamil, maybe you gave them something, maybe they just eating things with a lot of heavy metals. So they got parasites, they got worms now, and they're grinding their teeth. Epazote would be a great help to get them off of grinding their teeth so much. Okay. Nutrition, okay, nutrition, alkaline acid, right? You want to be more alkaline than you want to be acidic, all right? The acid alkaline means the voltage, okay? It's the voltage. That's what acid alkaline mean, okay? Now, the acid has more hydrogen and the alkaline is more the negative ion. It's accounts payable and accounts receivable. It's withdrawal versus deposit. Which one you want to do? You want to keep pulling money out? You want to put money in? Huh? Which one you want? You want to put out the money? You want to pull out all of the money? Or you want to put in the money? Alkaline, you put in the money. Acid, you keep taking the money away. Then you're not broke. You want me broke? You want to have the money. You want to have the money. Yeah. So yeah, like and subscribe. KT the Arts Degree here. Website is ionicbotanicals.com. If you don't feel like remembering that, if you don't feel like writing down this banner right here, you could just hit the link in the description. It'll take you straight to the site. I have a number of products there that will definitely help you out. And we have a sale going on. More specifically, we have the honey on sale. I'm going to keep on taking swigs of my honey. Woo. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, not Black Thought. That's my dude. Black Thought just did a concert with Rakim. How about that? And Talib Kweli, he got up in there. But Black Thought and Rakim just did a concert together. I'm like, bro, I need that in my life. What about Cuckoo Mecca? Cuckoo Mecca is amazing. That's on the site right now too. That's for the blood. That's for your hemoglobin. You want to increase these bad boys right here? Huh? You want to increase these bad boys right here in your bloodstream? You want to get more of those? You want to get more iron? You want to get more oxygen? Cuckoo Mecca. You having problems in the bedroom? Cuckoo Mecca. Libido, erections? Cuckoo Mecca. She will thank you in the morning. And if y'all both drink it, y'all will thank each other in the morning. Huh? How about that? Cuckoo Mecca. But yeah, Cuckoo Mecca is amazing and it's very mild too. I love it. You know, it colors the water red and it has no. Y'all, wow. Yes, it depends on what product. The honey, yes. The C3, yes. The phytoplankton, yes. The vitamin D, crush it, mix it in some applesauce, yes. Most herbs children don't need because they're good. You know what I'm saying? They're not really dealing with things like that. Perilla, yes. Bontana, yes. Salvation, yes. All of those are good to go. Yeah. All right, so that's I can go all day on nutrition because that's the main thing. All right, so sun, breath, movement, nutrition. Number 5 is connection. Connection, baby, connection. What do I mean by connection? What we doing right now? We building. You know what I'm saying? We popping, we politicking, right? Me and Mr. G, we build, we talk. That's my brother right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to be able to talk to people. You need to meet up with people. You know, meet at a restaurant. You know, meet at a sports bar. Y'all want to watch a game? Meet at the park. You know what I'm saying? Go to the movies. You know, do something. You know, and sometimes go somewhere just yourself where there's a group of people and meet some new people. You know what I'm saying? You know, functions, conventions, festivals, games. Get out and talk and connect. You know, because you're a node. You're a node of many. And what's a nerve without other nerves? Huh? Nervousness. What happens when there's a nerve and no more nerves? You get nervousness. That's what you get. You get anxiety, you know, and introvert or extroverted don't matter. You an introvert, then just deal with one other person. If you're extrovert, then deal with a group of people. You know, take on a new class. You know what I'm saying? Go to a poetry reading, poetry slam. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere, you know, but you need to connect with people. you know. But yeah, you need love in life. You need to be able to connect with your brothers out here in these streets, your sisters out here in these streets, the human family, you know. And that's one thing that they tried to destroy. You know, they definitely did damage it. There's definitely some bruises and some scar tissue in regards to the whole pandemic situation. But you know, we can't let that hold us down. You know, we need to definitely reconnect and get out and do things and travel the world too. That's another way to connect. Get on a plane, get on a boat, get on a train. You know, people probably don't want to get on trains right now with all this derailing going on, I bet. Or get on a road trip, but travel, go to new locations, meet new people, new cultures, respect their cultures. Don't try to force your culture on them. Be a student, you know, because the universe is university and we are all students of university, you know. But yeah, connection. Because what separates us is what connects us. Space is not space, it's not a void. It's air and minerals and electromagnetic fields that interconnect. Our electromagnetic field goes out meters, like sometimes I think like 18 meters outside of us. You know what I mean? And the strongest parts are like maybe 6 feet or something like that. But when we're walking around in the street, let's say I'm walking down the streets of New York, down a block, and there's, you know, within maybe a 3 block radius, there's like, I don't know, 150 people walking, you know, just doing stuff. All of those electromagnetic fields are intersecting with one another. You're touching people you don't even know you touching, huh? That's why when you're looking at that girl too hard, she turn around, be like, because she felt them eyes on that back, on the nape of that neck. She was like, wait a minute, stop electromagneting me. Stop EMFing me like that. Yeah, that's the new one. Ooh, girl, I'm EMFing you. Yeah, stop EMFing them girls so hard, y'all. They can feel it. And you know they do. You know what I'm saying? So connect, you know what I'm saying? Meet somebody new or just establish time with those that you know. You know what I'm saying? And you know, talk about things. It don't even have to be deep. It could be just life. Just enjoy the moments. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't get none of this time back, you know. So you need to be able to embrace and utilize the time wisely, you know. So connection with the people, with your family, with your friends, with your relatives, and even with strangers that you get to know. Because shoot, all your friends were strangers. Shoot, your family was strangers when you got here. You know, your mama was the first person that you trusted. She was a stranger. She was like, when you first saw it, you was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who you are. All right, yeah, I know that smell. Daddy, you was like, oh, okay, you cool. You cool too. You know what I'm saying? And it was like that with everybody from that point on, you know? Yeah, so that's connection. So we did sun 1, breath 2, movement 3, nutrition 4, connection 5. Okay, 5. All right, number 6, hydration, baby. Yeah, hydration. We need water. I need water because we're water beings on a water planet. Our electromagnetic reality is based on the most basic unit, which is an atom, but on a molecular side, it is water, H2O, which is a polarized molecule, meaning that it has a charge, a positive and negative. The negative charge is on the oxygen side, and the positive charge is on the hydrogen side. The hydrogens look like the ears of Mickey Mouse, with the oxygen looking like the face of the Mickey Mouse sign. This polarized molecule, when hit with infrared light, as we discussed earlier when we started this, splits it into opposite separate charges. And anytime you separate charges, you end up getting a battery, a capacitance. And from there, you're able to perform work from such things. So water is our source of energy, and the sun is able to liberate that, in addition with ATP, which unfolds proteins and other molecules, so it increases surface area. Thus, the water can create layers around it, thus forming the gels from the exclusion zone being produced and powering our body to do the things that we need to do. Hydration is everything because our water is based on different states. We have vapor states with our water, frozen states with our water, liquid states with our water, and gel states with our water. And our water is usually in a gel state until you catch like a fever, and then the gel liquefies and your nose starts running. Or when you get edema and you get swelling, where does that bag of water come from? It's because that gel got liquefied. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're dealing with, with our body and with water. Water is what we breathe. We're actually like fish. We are walking through the Empyrean Sea, which is a vaporized atmosphere, which we are constantly inhaling vapor. In a minute, when you get in an environment when there ain't no water there, when it's dry, oh yeah, you can't get with that. Yeah, fourth phase. We have 4 phases of water. Where's my do I have my 4 phase of water book? Let me see. No, that's photobiomodulation. Oh yeah, here we go. I keep it close, y'all. Yeah, 4 phases of water. Beyond solid, liquid, and vapor. It's a must-have, man. It's a must-have. It's a must-have. Yeah, when sunlight hits water, it separates its charge, and water becomes a battery. That's why getting in the sun is everything, because it charges us. Yep. And they write the book like it's for a 5th grader in school, 6th grader in school. They might have some terms in here you might have to look up, but how they wrote the book and with the pictures, it's easy reading. It's easy to understand. Easy. All right. Water from air. Yeah, the air has water in it. How you think it rains? Like, you know what I'm saying? You heard about the water cycle, the secondary water cycle, because the primary water cycle comes from underground. Okay, from the 5 to 6 oceans worth of water that exists underneath the crust that comes up through springs and geysers and so forth. But the secondary water cycle that we learned about in school, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, if there's constantly water evaporating in order to condensate and precipitate, that means we're constantly in water. What do you think fog is? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so water and hydration, that is number 6. Number 6. All right. Now, number 7. Oh my goodness. Before I say, I'm gonna see if anybody could guess it. What do y'all think the 7th point of Optimum Health is by KT the Arch Degree tonight? Can't believe we are going on 2 hours and a half. I did not intend on being on here this long at all. What's number 7? Yeah, I do have the water as a battery video. Yeah, that's 2017. That's 6 years old. 6-year-old video. There you go, Lua. Yes, sleep. Sleep is number 7. We have to get up, but we fall asleep. Okay, we did not have to evolve to sleep. That is our natural state. It ain't nothing to sleep. Okay, when somebody knock you out, what happened? You go to sleep. don't get You don't need the energy to sleep, bro. You actually regenerate. You regenerate. You go on astral rides and everything like that. You dream, you know. And it goes back to when I was talking about the fascia, about compression and expansion. When you're awake during the serotonin hours of the day and activity in your peripheral, that's the expansion, getting work done, activity, getting on the train, plane, doing work, traveling, talking to people, blah, 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 blah. When you sleeping, that's compression, because you come back home, you get in the bed, you sit in one space and you lay there for 8 hours and don't do nothing. But within, you go further than you've ever gone in your whole life. Ain't that deep? You know what I'm saying? So, Moon Rocker said it too. You said sleep too. Oh, you said detoxification. Okay. I'm about to say I didn't miss them. I ain't gonna do Moon Rocker like that. But yeah, sleep is important, because if you ain't getting a good 7-8 hours, it don't matter if you doing any of the rest of this stuff. You have to sleep. You get all the sun in the world too. If you ain't sleeping, but that's what I'm saying. If you get in the sun, you're gonna go to sleep, because you're gonna make you make the melatonin during the day. So getting the sun in the morning activates the production of melatonin, right? But it doesn't get active until the evening hours. All right. And it doesn't just deal with sleep, it deals with metabolism. It is the basis of DMT. You're not making DMT without melatonin. When melatonin exhales carbon dioxide, when melatonin decarboxylates, it becomes DMT. Okay? This is how you make DMT in the body. So sleep is how you are able to have a clear thought, clarity, regeneration, heal yourself. You know what I mean? Balance your days, balance your circadian rhythm, because your entire body. Let's see. Do I have is it on this one? Oh man, yeah. Let me see. Ooh-wee. Do I want to do that? So yeah. So the Mordecai and Avatar, the Navi, they were known by having very dense bone, just like our people. And the pineal gland produces melatonin, right? Melatonin increases PTH, which is parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone leads to the production and activation of osteoblast cells, which do what? Bone building and strengthening. Okay? Problems with melatonin results in the overstimulation of osteoclasts. Osteoblasts and osteoclasts are bone cells. And osteoclast is responsible for the dissolving of bone and releasing calcium ions in the blood, while osteoblast reabsorbs them calcium ions and places them into the bone in order to strengthen the bone more. Okay. So in this slight little chart that I made right here some time ago, we got highly toxic acidic forming foods, right? Or metabolic ash, right? Or toxic lifestyle equates to parathyroid gland, right? Is behind the thyroid gland is activated. Okay. Parathyroid hormone is released, stimulates vitamin D3 production and prevents calcium excretion in the urine, leads to vitamin D3 facilitates proper absorption of calcium by way of the intestines into the bloodstream. Parathyroid hormone also activates osteoclasts. Okay, calcium stabilizes. Oh, I'm not there yet. PTH also activates osteoclast. 6. Bone cell, right, that performs reabsorption, dissolving of bone tissue into its chemical constituents, right? Release of freed calcium ions into the blood. What does that do? Calcium stabilizes alkalinity in the blood, because if the blood gets acidic, you die, right? But the high acid causes prolonged resorption and lack of calcium absorption due to vitamin D deficiency, which results in osteoporosis or poor bones, because the blood is first priority. So that's another thing melatonin does. All right. So yes, the 7 points of health: sun, which includes sound, all right, light, okay, 2, breath, 3, movement, 4, nutrition, 5, connection, 6, hydration, 7, sleep. All right. And all of this has to deal with getting back in touch with nature. Nature being the 4 elements of earth, water, fire, air, and then the 5th element of light, in which you find in the periodic table of elements of water being hydrogen, earth being carbon, air being oxygen, fire being nitrogen, and the light being phosphorus. All right. So, as I said before, psionicbotanicals.com is the site. Link is in the description. Please like, please subscribe, please share. You know, I'll definitely be back soon enough, as always. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I really do. I didn't know I was going to be on here for 2.5 hours at all. But that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Let's see. And I'll be seeing y'all soon, man. So what y'all, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all get some rest tonight. Get up, go catch that sun, right? Do some breathing, yes. Get some good nutrition in you. Hydrate, right? Connect with some people. You're gonna do that. That ain't too hard to do, you know. And then, of course, while you're up and during the day, make sure you get some movement in. But I appreciate y'all's support. Love and light. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.